Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Heart channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We here with our last installment of the series Eat, Slay, Love. This is episode number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had the opportunity to check it out, I suggest you do so. It's now on Peacock, streaming all 3 episodes. It's called Eat, Slay, Love, and it's starring Nivea, Tammy. What's Tammy's last name? Tammy. That's what I can remember at the time. And Eva. Okay. And we are now here to review the last and final episode of the series called Seas of the Day. So, anywho, the ladies are now headed, they're now leaving Nimbin and they're headed to the beach in Natrang. Ooh. See, this is the part where I would have joined the girls' trip. Y'all could have left me for the countryside. Y'all could have left me for the Buddhist temples. But when it starts to get the tropical vacation part of the trip, y'all come on and call me up because that's where I want to be tagged in that. So, anywho, they checked into this villa, and when I tell you that villa was perfection, girl, I love the villa. It had a pool. It was overlooking the water. It was a huge house. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So as soon as they got there, my girl Eva, she said, "Well, listen, I'm going skinny dipping because I have to get my ninnies out and get some sun and some water and some yada yada yada. Especially because I was in the rice plant digging in fucking mud with my bare hands and feet. That was fucking traumatizing for me. So anywho, she went skinny dipping. The ladies joined her in the pool, and then their dresses arrived. Remember on the first episode, they got their Vietnamese dresses made, right? So they came and the dresses were really beautiful, right? Also, and they also London's dress came. So Nivea was like, I'll send London her dress. Very beautiful dresses, right? So then they decided that this part of the trip, one of the outings that they would do is a mud bath. See, it's a lot of things that culturally that just in absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was like a mud bath. Oh no, 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 no. That absolutely not. But in any event, it looked like they pretty much enjoyed it after they got used to it. They got on in. It was a big tub, looked like a tub of fucking diarrhea. But anyway, sitting in the tub, they decided to discuss the delicacy of family and female friendships and how they can affect you really, really well, or how they affect you when they fall apart, right? And of course, I have experience in both areas because I have friends that I look at as sisters that I can call and talk to them about anything and get bare and naked with them and share my deepest, darkest thoughts and, cry on their shoulder and so on and so forth, right? And then I've been a part of friendships that unfortunately they just could not continue. And what I will say is both ways affect you. If it is working well for you, if the situation is working well for you and you have a sister who you can call on, that's a friend, then that helps you grow in ways that you can't imagine because sisterhood is a beautiful thing. But the other part of that is if a sisterhood falls apart, it is like a death to you, and you will mourn, and you will mourn as hard as you mourn death, because losing that relationship can mean a lot to you. So I got where they both was coming from, right? So then they hit up the Natran nightlife and they go to eat. Girl, why Nivea took a shit at these people establishment? So what happened was she was like, listen, I don't know if it's because the food is so fresh over here, baby, but I've been shitting down the plates. I was cracking up. So then they talked about their golf they talked about their goal for the Vietnamese experience and how they've just been able to identify their triggers and, more importantly, how often Black women don't feel safe. And Tammy got emotional talking about how quick she is to anger and respond aggressively and how she wants peace and she wants to give that off to others. And Tammy, it's all a part of the ghetto experience. Let me just say this. It's all a part of the ghetto experience. Growing up in the ghetto is traumatizing because a lot of the violence and things that you see, it is normalized for folks to feel like that is okay and that is right, when really and truly that is a level of trauma. So because of that, you become a little bit more hostile because you don't want to become a victim of some of the things that's going on around you. Like I was saying to you guys, and I want to say the first review, how I was explaining how, it is almost feeling like one of the hardest things that I'm doing in my life is to divorce my ghetto upbringing. It is hard, Tammy, for you to do so, but it's something that you have to actively work on. I want to also say this about, having peace and divorcing trauma and removing yourself from traumatic experiences and the ghetto lifestyle and so on and so forth is also about your surroundings. It's very hard for me to be in my soft girl era if I'm not around people who are going to allow me to be soft, right? So if I'm always in a space with folks that they fuel my anger or aggression, there's no way for them to see my soft side. So what I have chosen in an effort to contribute to finding my peace and divorcing my ghetto lifestyle and releasing my trauma is I'm not around anybody that will ignite me. I don't deal with it. And if I am in a space and somebody is trying to, I remove myself, because it's very easy for me to go back to that space, and I'm trying to teach myself that that is not my landing space. It's hard to do that when folks are trying to antagonize the shit out you. So for me, and I will offer this to Tammy, it's also about your surroundings, right? Once you notice that London was a trigger for you, you should have isolated yourself from her. And that would have been that. And I'm sorry to say, but if we can't build what you saw y'all couldn't do because you felt she thought she was better than y'all, at that point you disconnect and you isolate. Because if not, she's going to continue triggering you, and that's what happened in that situation. So, anywho, the next day is beach day. So they all excited about beach day, but then they like, okay, well, where's Tammy? Because remember, it's only Eva, Nivea, and Tammy at the time. So Tammy is in a room, and once again, you can see with Tammy, when she's feeling something, it's all over her, right? It's in her facial expressions, it's in her body language. So they like, what's going on? So Nivea is saying that Flocka's new girl and Tammy had an exchange on social media because Tammy posted something. Flocka's new girl took it personal, and she posted something. Tammy took that personal. Tammy addressed Flocka. It was a whole back and forth, right? And you can honestly see that it was shifting energy for her whole day, right? And Nivea is so silly. She in the hallway singing songs and trying to get Eva, trying to get Tammy to kind of regroup and recenter. And she did say, she was like, this girl just said yesterday how she doesn't want to be so easy to anger and so aggressive. And now as soon as the situation presents itself, boom, there you are with that again, right? So she was like, listen, she needs to work through that. And I was saying, Tammy, you do. And if you come to Operation Heal 100 Hearts, we could help you do so. But in any event, Tammy was able to kind of shake and move, and she resurfaces, and they head down to the beach, which was nice. So Tammy informed them, she was like, guys, we're going to do something today called sea walking. Right. So they looking at her like, what the fuck is that? So she was like, well, they take you 4 meters down in the ocean and they let you observe marine life, like front and center, like you're right there face to face with it. Right. And she was like, so you're down there with the fishes and the corals and everything else pretty much under the sea. When they showed a picture of it, it looked fun. Pookie said he would definitely be down to do it. I was looking at him like he was fucking crazy, because what else is down there for me to see? And how will I get away if it's trying to attack me? So for me, absolutely not. But I could see why Tammy wanted to do it, right? They went, they did it. It was so cute. Nivea said, I will not be participating in that. I'll sit this one out. So she stayed on hammocks. And Eva and Tammy went to do it. And again, you can see it was such an exhilarating experience. You go all the way down. It looks beautiful down there. Of course, the staff is there that helps participate in the whole event. So they're now helping you walk around and showing you what direction to go in, and you have all this equipment on, and so no water could get in, so you could breathe. And it was really nice. It was really, really nice. And maybe I might think about it depending on the next couple of vacations I go. But just for now, the answer is absolutely not. So in any event, when they came back out, Tammy was like, ladies, just give me a second. I just need a moment. So she went and she sat beachside just to take it all in, and she got emotional. And y'all know my crybaby ass, I got emotional too, because I understood what she meant. I understood what she meant. That has happened to me many times on vacations, but it's also happened to me even sometimes in my home. You know, sometimes you have these nostalgic moments, right? And it's so much for you that it builds up emotion in you. And what she was saying was that she was like, you think that all these things matter, right? Like case in point, she just had the issue on social media with her ex-husband and his new girlfriend, right? She was like, you think all of these things matter when this is just a huge world and you're just a small piece of something in it. And just being down there in the ocean with the water, being free, just with the fishes, it kind of recentered you to remember that all of that stuff is just external things that don't really matter when there's a deeper picture and a deeper focus and a deeper meaning to life, right? And I am a person who I overthink my ass off. So I have those moments very often. I remember when Pookie was in Delaware and he had a situation and I would have to drive to see him. And I remember when I would leave from seeing him, I would have those nostalgic moments because, being in love is a very overwhelming feeling. Now, it can be an overwhelming feeling in a good way. It could be overwhelming feeling in a bad way. For me, I praise God. 8 years together and it has been an overwhelming feeling in a good way, but sometimes it's so overwhelming and you just think about the grand scheme of how people always say, oh, I want a spouse, I want to get married, I want to have a baby, and they want the aesthetic of things. But when you and somebody is heart to heart, soul to soul, connected and intertwined, it's such an overwhelming feeling, right? And I think for Tammy, she felt like just being able to afford to do these type of things in my life, knowing I'm a ghetto girl from Baltimore who folks didn't think I was going to become anything, it's just an overwhelming feeling. So I got her in those moments. And when she started crying, my crazy behind started crying. So anyway, they returned to the villa, and when they got there, Chef Andy was there. I like Chef Andy, so he was there to help them prepare a meal. Eva was like, listen, we in the villa, we need a chef. So he was there to help them prepare a meal, and Lord knows Eva wanted to get her more morning glory. I'm gonna learn how to make morning glory because Eve, they loved it. It was a Vietnamese like stir fry that they really, really loved. I want to learn how to make it. They was making prawns and they was making spring rolls, right? And in doing so, while they cooked them with the chef, they just would talk about the importance of cooking and what it means to Black American culture. And I know that oh too well because that's one of my family's favorite things to do, which is to come together on Sundays by my mom. My mom cooks and we fellowship over food, drinks, laughs, games, fun, music. That's very popular in Black American culture, right? So then when they sit down to have dinner, Eva gets a flower delivery from a man that she's dating who she says plays congos at the church, and he prays with her at night, he prays with her in the morning, and she believes she loves him. And I was looking at that like, Eva, girl, don't be manipulated by them pastors, because I dated one and almost choked the hell out of his ass because he was trying to manipulate me and use God to do it, and I'm not no idiot. And once I caught on that his collar was fucking falling off, I almost choked the shit out of his Bishop Whitehead acting ass. But in any event, I got where you was coming from, Eva. So she basically got emotional, right? I mean, so boom, that she got the flower delivery. And that moment, what I love was that, remember, Eva is more peaceful. So a lot of her role on this trip was like pouring into the rest of the girls, right? So when she got the flower delivery and she just was saying that how it meant so much to her, and Tammy took that time to pour into Eva. And what she said was that she was like, well, first of all, you pour into everybody else. And second of all, I just want to say to you that not only do you see you, I see you, Nivea sees you, your children see you, the rest of the world sees you. She said, and I know that this flower delivery may seem small, but it's the small things that mean a lot, because that right there says that this man recognizes how important you are, how valuable you are, and he sees you. And I just want to let you know, he isn't the only one. We all see you. And I thought that was so nice that it was like Tammy read the room and knew the exact timing of when that was needed, because when she did it, Eva bust out hollering. Here I go again, bust out hollering too. Lord knows I will cry down. So anyway, we all was crying because I got it. You should have seen Pookie like, girl, you ain't gonna keep crying this goddamn show. But anyway, I just thought that was so perfect timing, Tammy. I thought it was very much needed for Eva. And I like to see that sisterhood and that fellowship amongst Black women. So anyway, now it's the last day. It's the last day of the girls trip, and it's almost Nivea's birthday. So they decided, they like, listen, we're gonna honor Nivea. We're gonna celebrate her birthday and this whole transformational journey and with the vacation. And they was like, so in order to honor that, how about we get some matching tattoos? So they was like, and we're gonna get some tattoos that symbolize transformation. So they headed out to get the tattoos. Nivea got a dragonfly, Eva got a butterfly, and Tommy covered Waka's name with a black cat. Right. So I thought that was so cute, right? To commemorate the whole situation. That was nice, right? So then they head back to the villa to freshen up, and then they head to Nivea's party because they was giving her a party. That was so nice. And when I tell you, honey, them girls party, they party. They had a live DJ, they had decorations, they had food, they had a cake, they had fireworks. It was just so nice and well deserved because this was a good trip that Nivea put together, and it was a very real one. It was a good look at Black women. It was a good look at Black women from different cultures. It was a good look at Black women from different backgrounds. It was a good look at Black women from that have different experiences. It was just a good magnifying glass on Black women and how we all differentiate and how sometimes we can find commonalities and sometimes we just can't, and that can still be okay, right? So as they was doing all of that and celebrating, Tammy had to be honest. She said, I'm not gonna lie, I have to acknowledge that in these moments I miss London. We started off the trip with her and we thought we would see this thing all the way through, and I feel like she deserves, this time to fellowship and celebrate with us, even though we all may be different, right? So I thought that was so nice of Tammy to, be honest in her feelings, right? And then Tammy was like, well, listen, I have one more thing that we need to do to set intentions for not only this trip, but just for moving forward. She was like, I ordered us some lanterns. So we're going to light them and send them off and kind of share our intentions with the world and pray that they will all come into fruition, right? So when they went, they sat poolside and they lit their lanterns. And Nivea was like, listen, my intention moving forward is to live out loud. No more living from my experiences in the past, what sheltered me, what hurt me, what traumatized me. I'm letting all of that go, and I'm being Nivea, and I'm being her out loud, and I'm going to present that person to the world, and I'm going to know that I'm good enough to be accepted, right? So I thought that was so nice. So Tammy said her intentions moving forward is to strengthen her journey and relationship with God because, basically it's what she holds on to when everything else falls apart. And Eva says her intentions moving forward was kind of similar to Tammy's. She said it's to surrender and relinquish all control over to God. She said because for so long with her divorce, with her children, with her career, just her as a woman, with her relationships, she's always been trying to hold on and maneuver and filter and do everything regarding those things to make things work out in her favor, when really and truly only thing she needs to do is give it on over to God and let him take care of it and let her walk through the path that he is setting forth for her. So I thought these were such beautiful, realistic, and lovely and honest intentions for the future. I love this show. I love this little 3-part series. I'm kind of happy that it was only 3 parts because I personally feel like had it been any longer, it would have took away from the momentum of the show. I feel like just having those 3 episodes was enough to get the meats and the potatoes. It was enough to give you a good overview, and it was enough to bring out what they were trying to produce. So I love Eat Slay Love. You guys go watch it. You guys go watch Eat Stay Love. Let me know what you think about it. It's on Peacock. It's still streaming right now. It's Tammy Rivera, Nivea, and Eva. London is on the first 1.5 episodes, but then she leaves. But either way, it's just such a good show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do watch, you didn't watch, you about to watch, you gonna watch, drop down in the comment sections and let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and you guys enjoy your day.